You may not be in sales as your actual profession, but we all have times when we need to pitch an idea and get the approval of others. First, think about the people whose approval you need and what's in it for them to agree. If you can't think of a single way in which your listener benefits from your idea, you may need to rethink your plan. People first in every pitch. Consider the decision-making style of the person you're trying to influence. Is she more of an analytical thinker type who makes decisions by processing data and bottom-line results? Or is this someone who is more emotional and makes decisions by processing the effects on people? Head or heart? Thinker or feeler? Your thinker needs evidence, facts, comparisons, and benchmarks. The heart decision maker needs to make sure people will benefit, values will be honored, and harmony upheld. Then, consider your message. A great pattern of organization when pitching an idea is the what, why, and how. Immediately overview what your suggestion is. Then give 2 to 3 compelling reasons why your idea is a good one. Back up those reasons with solid evidence, statistics, voice of the customer, case studies, data, specific examples. Make sure these reasons are aligned with the values and the priorities of your decision maker. Finally, explain to your decision maker how your idea will be implemented. Prove feasibility. What, why, how. Here's how you could influence someone to add an additional rep to an account, assuming you know the person you're speaking to tends to be a heart processor. It's best to start with what your suggestion is, and you could say something like this.
I need 1 additional rep to run point on this campaign with me.
After you explain your suggestion, explain why your idea is smart and support ideas with evidence. You can say something like this.
We calculated that the social components alone are going to take 200 to 250 staffing hours. That's too much for one person.
Now it's time to speak to the heart. Talk about what's in it for the client by saying,
the client loves the work that we've done before, and I want to protect our reputation and the client's loyalty.
Finally, explain how your idea will work. You can say,
I realize this adds significant costs, so I've been looking at ways we can adjust the budget. Can I get your thoughts on some suggestions I have?
And that's how you use the what, why, how pattern. When we influence, we also want to consider the context building block. Think carefully about your timing and location and history with the decision makers. One of my coaching clients recently shared some great news with his boss, but his boss responded with apathy. When I asked why, he said, timing. My boss was giving some detailed instructions at the meeting, and I think he just wanted to stay focused. Timing matters when you try to influence. And influence is just not one isolated message. It's a campaign. Talk to your decision makers multiple times with slightly different messages each time. Perhaps you begin by dropping some subtle seeds, working up to a suggestion, and then, eventually, a full-on request for action or resources. Influence is a campaign. Train yourself to ask questions, talk less, and listen to deeply understand the needs of those we're trying to influence. The best pitches aren't just making a sale or getting your way, but they are about truly making life better for someone else.